A 16-minute speech by the Prime Minister focused on welfare of the poor. The big headline from the Prime Minister's speech is that the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojya, which is for free rations for the poor, will be extended till the end of November at a cost of 90,000 crore, benefiting 80 crore Indians. Poor and needy Indians will get free rations every single month until the end of November. That's the big takeaway from the Prime Minister's 16-minute speech at this time, focused exclusively on the welfare of India's poor. Let's go straight across to India Today's Rahul Srivastava, National Affairs Editor. Rahul, there had been a lot of speculation, and this was always one of the major possibilities that the economic welfare of the migrants and the poor of the country would be a focus area. The Prime Minister has been under attack previously for not speaking out about this issue. Today he's sharpened that speech, shorter than usual, 16 minutes, and entirely focused, Rahul, on welfare of the poor.
Yes, Shiv, I think if you look at it, if you look at the political context, as we were discussing earlier, that on China and others he had spoken about in the all-party meeting and then in the Man Ki Baat. On various other things, elements he has been talking. So he talked about the battle against COVID-19, how people should not be careless. And also if you see the Rahul Gandhi attack, that how the government should come out and give money to the poor, the Nyaya scheme he talked about. In that political context, Shiv, there is a crisis brewing all over the country. And the crisis is that a lot of migrant workers who had run back to their native places are now slowly trooping back to the places of work in search of work. And that is a crisis where they may not be very sure about their employment. Employment may not come readily. In that, they will need certain basic support. And basic support either in the places where they are, in their native places, because they have no job for a long time now. It's been a couple of months since they actually migrated back to their native places. And MNREGA, the exercise is catching up, but it's not sufficient. I think it's a big political signal which has been sent. And also I will say, Shiv, Bihar elections are coming, and there is a seething anger among the migrant laborers who went back from places of work back to Bihar. And I think that migrant laborers' misery, and I think the problems they have been facing, needed to be addressed. And that's why this 5-month assurance of free food grain, along with schemes like MNREGA, direct benefit transfers, is kind of a package that the Prime Minister has offered, that the state, the Indian state, is not abandoning them in a moment of crisis. So he has brought in Atmanirbhar Bharat. He has appealed for people to battle COVID-19 with better social distancing protocols, no carelessness, and he has come up with a scheme which benefits 80 crore people. That's a large swath of people across the country. Absolutely.
Gaurav, your reactions to this, your comments on the Prime Minister's short, sharp speech, much shorter than usual, very, very focused, a couple of very simple messages, that the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojya will be extended for a period of about 5 months till the end of November. He mentions Diwali and Chhath Puja as well. Very focused, short speech, Gaurav.
It indeed was, and very targeted, very, very targeted. So two aspects the Prime Minister is focused on. One, in urban areas, you see in containment zones, people are actually not following norms that they should be following. So the Prime Minister has spoken of, well, in an instance when he said that people who do not follow norms, they are fined. So he says even for the Prime Minister, the rules are the same and people should be fined if they don't follow either hand hygiene or wearing masks. That's one part of the story. So he says in containment zone, follow those norms. But the bigger message, Shiv, was very, very tightly focused and on those who are migrant laborers, the poor, the marginalized, 80 crore people in our country, to be given these free rations, 5 kgs of either rice or atta for a period till November. So it covers the Chhath Puja, very big in Bihar, and Bihar is going to see elections, Deepavali. He's mentioned a lot of festivals that come in between. So he says this is the time that they require hand-holding, and the government is going out to reaching out to them and holding their hand till the month of November. Hopefully things improve subsequently, Shiv.
Okay, there is the hope that things will have improved by November. That's still 5 months away, but putting that sort of time frame on it at least says that the government is planning as far as India's most vulnerable at this point of time. Rajiv Dubey is also with us. Rajiv, yes, you know, all of us had speculated that there were many things on the table. The one thing we've always got right is that this was going to have to be about what India faces right now. Rural distress, the migrant crisis, the economy in shambles. And this is one area that the Prime Minister has been under repeated political attack from the opposition as well. And that is perhaps why he's dedicated this speech to India's most vulnerable, Rajiv.
Yes, Shiv, and also I think, you know, we should have anticipated this, because having, you know, the government having declared that it was only, the scheme was only applicable for 3 months. What now? Now that, you know, there's unlock 2. But government, it seems, has already fully prepared in terms of finances. For instance, they're going to be raising about 4 lakh crore more from the market this year. The government, you know, despite the fact that there has been a drop in taxes, there has been additional tax generation in the fuel segment. So they have been able to raise taxes to generate about 700 odd crore, you know, additional amount per day for the government and for the oil marketing companies. But you know, the thing here is that the coming festivals, these hold a very special place in the hearts of individuals, and to be assured that individuals across the country will neither be hungry nor without a job or nor without a way of earning through PMNREGA is a big assurance to the masses in general. It gives them the confidence that
yes,
they will not be you know, without food and without jobs, and that's a very big thing as far as you know, the run up to the festivals is concerned. I think it's going to be it's going to be a big political message that he sent out with this. Like I said, 90,000 crore is the kind of money that will be spent additionally on this, but the government has already prepared for raising a lot more money, about 4 lakh crore additional money this fiscal, despite the drop in taxes that has been witnessed in the lockdown period.
Okay, great points. Rahul, you know, we saw Rahul Gandhi, you know, put out a video message right before the Prime Minister's speech. It was a composite message, you know, speaking about the China situation as well as the economy. He tried to push the Nyay scheme on the Prime Minister as well. You know, at least one area that he sort of touched upon turned out to be true, and that was distress among India's most vulnerable. Does this in some way disarm some of the things that have been fired at the Prime Minister from the opposition, or not really, Rahul?
Shiv, I think the attack from the opposition are going to continue. This is the kind of political climate we are living in. Remember, a lot of questions the opposition has a right to ask. The opposition needs to keep the opposition on the toes. But remember also that the dynamics of what is happening right now politically has a bit of roots in Congress politics also. The Congress is looking for a re-entry for Rahul Gandhi and to become a challenger for against Narendra Modi, to perhaps take him on very critical issues like national security, destitution of the poor, and all are favorite templates of political parties in the country. And if you notice, and that's why I said that migrant laborers and the plight of their plight, both in terms, a lot of those who returned back to their native places, this will become a kind of an additional layer of comfort and support for the workers who don't have jobs in their native places or have got MNREGA jobs. And those who have gone back after migrating back to the native places, back to the places of work, it will give them some certain degree of support. Now, a large number of migrants come from Bihar, and Bihar is heading towards an election. You may be in the middle of anything, Shiv. In India, if you do not take care of the masses as a political leader, and don't think that there is going to be an election, I think you will be making a big mistake. So it may have a political leg. This whole attempt may have a political intent, but definitely if you ask anybody, I think it does address a certain bit. It does not address a direct benefit transfer like Rahul Gandhi is asking in terms of some 7,000, 7,500 rupees direct DBT to people. But it does address the political situation. And one interesting thing, Shiv, you should remember, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his government is not indulging in any open chest beating on China. And because it knows it's a very complex situation compared to what is the relationship between India and Pakistan. And that is why all those people who were saying that the Prime Minister may stand and address questions and queries on China were unfounded. Because what we know that in this government there is a realization that China as an adversary is different ballgame from Pakistan, and there is no need for chest beating and raise a political frenzy and a demographic frenzy among the people on the issue of Chinese standoff.
Very, very true. And that's the reason why China was not invoked directly in any manner. This was about the welfare of the people of India owing to the economic crisis brought in by the Chinese virus. That's the only link to China, even though the Prime Minister did not mention China or the Chinese virus anywhere. He asked the people to take care of themselves. He started with a warning about the new weather. He admonished some, saying that they haven't been following all the rules, as a result of which there has been a sudden spike in cases now. But then the 15-minute speech focused on the welfare of the people with that big announcement. Let's recap for you some of the things the Prime Minister said in his speech. Take a look.
लॉकडाउन के दौरान देश की सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता रही ऐसी स्थिति न आए कि किसी गरीब के घर में चूल्हा न जले। केंद्र सरकार हो, राज्य सरकारें हो, सिविल सोसाइटी के लोग हों, सभी ने पूरा प्रयास किया कि इतने बड़े देश में हमारा कोई गरीब भाई बहन भूखा न सोए। लॉकडाउन होते ही सरकार प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण योजना लेकर आई। इस योजना के तहत गरीबों के लिए 2.25 लाख करोड़ रुपए का पैकेज दिया गया। साथियों, बीते 3 महीनों में 20 करोड़ गरीब परिवारों के जनधन खातों में सीधे 31,000 करोड़ रुपया जमा करवाए गए हैं। इस दौरान 9 करोड़ से अधिक किसानों के बैंक खातों में 18,000 करोड़ रुपए जमा हुए हैं। इसके साथ ही गांवों में श्रमिकों को रोजगार देने के लिए प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण रोजगार अभियान तेज गति से आरंभ कर दिया गया है। इस पर सरकार 50,000 करोड़ रुपए खर्च कर रही है। जुलाई से धीरे धीरे त्योहारों का भी माहौल बनने लगता है। त्योहारों का ये समय जरूरतें भी बढ़ाता है, खर्च भी बढ़ाता है। इन सभी बातों को ध्यान में रखते हुए ये फैसला लिया गया है कि प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना का विस्तार अब दिवाली और छठ पूजा तक, यानी नवंबर महीने के आखिर तक कर दिया जाएगा। कोरोना से लड़ते हुए भारत में 80 करोड़ से ज्यादा लोगों को 3 महीने का राशन, यानी परिवार के हर सदस्य को 5 किलो गेहूं या चावल मुफ्त दिया गया। इसके अतिरिक्त प्रति परिवार हर महीने 1 किलो दाल भी मुफ्त दी गई। यानी एक तरह से देखें तो अमेरिका की कुल जनसंख्या से 2.5 गुना अधिक लोगों को, ब्रिटेन की जनसंख्या से 12 गुना अधिक लोगों को और यूरोपियन यूनियन की आबादी से लगभग 2 गुने से ज्यादा लोगों को हमारी सरकार ने मुफ्त अनाज दिया है। अब पूरे भारत के लिए एक राशन कार्ड की व्यवस्था भी हो रही है, यानी एक राष्ट्र एक राशन कार्ड, वन नेशन वन राशन कार्ड। इसका सबसे बड़ा लाभ उन गरीब साथियों को मिलेगा जो रोजगार या दूसरी आवश्यकताओं के लिए अपना गांव छोड़ करके कहीं और जाते हैं, किसी और राज्य में जाते हैं।
Gaurav, to bring you in on this, there had been speculation that China would reflect directly in this particular speech in some ways, given the national security situation, given the app ban that was announced by the Modi government yesterday. But I think what the Prime Minister has made very clear, and it's not surprising at all, and Rahul also touched upon that, is that given the complexity of what is going on with China, this is something that's going to not play out in public. There isn't going to be a running commentary from the Prime Minister or the government on the very delicate issue of China.
Oh, absolutely, Shiv. Look at the ground realities. The two generals are speaking even as we speak at Chushul. Last time it was at Moldo, this time it's at Chushul. They're going to be talking about disengagement and withdrawal from each other's points to a certain extent. And this is going to be a complex, long drawn out thing. Also keep in mind, have we heard a single word from the Chinese President Xi Jinping? Not a word. So why should we hear from our Prime Minister again and again and again? He's made one thing very clear, Shiv, that India needs to use this as an opportunity to be self-reliant. The government, the Ministry of Home Affairs, issued those guidelines on banning of 59 Chinese apps. And if you look at TikTok, for example, till yesterday, TikTok was ruling the roost because India was one of the biggest users of TikTok app. And today, it's down in the dumps. And this is just the beginning. Shiv, as you and I well know, this is just a statement of India's intent. Many are arguing that is this how we counter China by banning TikTok? No, this is not the only way. We've got our Sukhois and our Mirages and our Apaches and our Chinooks and our troops on ground in Ladakh. We've mobilized our forces. That's step one. Various Chinese contracts are being cancelled, whether it's in the Railways Ministry, several other ministries, their contracts are either being relooked or cancelled. That's one step. Banning of these 59 apps because they're detrimental to national security according to the Ministry of Home Affairs. So a show cause notice has been issued to them. That's step 3. And incrementally, as you well know, Shiv, multiple other measures will be taken to send a message to China that transgressions are completely unacceptable. So perhaps the Prime Minister will speak when there's a bigger statement to be made. These are tactical level decisions being taken, hopefully, for a strategic impact, Shiv.
Very, very important point there from Gaurav. Rajiv, final point from you. One of the comments that, I'm seeing on social media on the back of the Prime Minister's announcement for India's poor is, what about the Indian middle class? There's a lot of anticipation, a lot of expectation from the Indian middle class about whether there are going to be any SOPs for them as well, given the impact of this lockdown on companies, on businesses, on the middle class in general. What are the expectations there? And are we expecting the Prime Minister at some point to address those in a focused manner as well?
Yes, so Shiv, the biggest expectation from both the small businesses and the middle class has been that the government at some point does come forward and take care of their expenses, or the fact that they were in the lockdown period, the salaries of the employees especially at the lower level, those who are not earning very much in the small medium enterprises or even large enterprises, but who are at the lower level salaries. But that is something that has not been addressed as far as the government is concerned. It has taken care of in some cases the Provident Fund contribution up to 15,000 rupees. But other than that, the expectation from the middle class that there will be some kind of a tax shock, that is practically out now, right? Because the government's own tax collection has taken such a massive beating. Especially if you look at GST collections, they're down by almost 80 to 90%, especially particularly in the lockdown period. And this, if at all there's anything that's going to come for the middle class, it's going to be only towards the budget or maybe slightly after that, because until then it will be recovery time even for the government finances. So it's very unlikely that the middle class is going to get much relief. And even if you look at the hike in the petrol and diesel, the fuel prices is largely being borne by the government and by the business. Consumption of fuel is not happening in the private sector because it has been in lockdown and people are working from home. It's largely the enterprises, the businesses, movement of trucks across the country, and of course government vehicles which are moving across the country. So government is paying the government itself as far as the increase in fuel and taxes on fuel is concerned. So there has been an attempt to shore up some revenue streams for the government in ways like this. Some of the states, for instance, increased taxes on liquor. So those are the kind of attempts that have been made by both at the state level and at the center. And like I said, the center has already said it's going to raise more resources this year, about 4 lakh crore more. Debt will be taken on to fund some of these schemes at a time when taxes have taken a beating, tax collection has taken such a beating, and revenue of the government has taken a beating. So, middle class is not likely to get anything much right now. If at all anything will come, it will be towards the budget or maybe slightly after that.
Let's recap for you what the Prime Minister has said in case you missed the speech. Here it is.
लॉकडाउन के दौरान देश की सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता रही ऐसी स्थिति न आए कि किसी गरीब के घर में चूल्हा न जले। केंद्र सरकार हो, राज्य सरकारें हो, सिविल सोसाइटी के लोग हों, सभी ने पूरा प्रयास किया कि इतने बड़े देश में हमारा कोई गरीब भाई बहन भूखा न सोए। लॉकडाउन होते ही सरकार प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण योजना लेकर आई। इस योजना के तहत गरीबों के लिए 2.25 लाख करोड़ रुपए का पैकेज दिया गया। साथियों, बीते 3 महीनों में 20 करोड़ गरीब परिवारों के जनधन खातों में सीधे 31,000 करोड़ रुपया जमा करवाए गए हैं। इस दौरान 9 करोड़ से अधिक किसानों के बैंक खातों में 18,000 करोड़ रुपए जमा हुए हैं। इसके साथ ही गांवों में श्रमिकों को रोजगार देने के लिए प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण रोजगार अभियान तेज गति से आरंभ कर दिया गया है। इस पर सरकार 50,000 करोड़ रुपए खर्च कर।
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.